Girls, Sin and Z, and we're back with another one for you today. And today we're reacting to Americans living abroad. First time. What am I saying?
Yeah, continue.
This is a video about American realizing that America messed them up. That sounds much better. Mm-hmm. So they went abroad and they realized, what? Mm-hmm. My bubble, their bubble just burst. They're like, it's unbelievable. My bubble is bursting just watching these videos. So I saw it and I'm like, okay, I gotta burst this youngling bubble. So we're going to get right into this. We're getting this one from TikTok Reacts. The link will be in the description below. Please go over and show them some love. And this one is part 2. First time you realize America really mess you up. And these are Americans saying their stuff. So here goes. Oh Lord. So welcome. Don't forget to hit the like.
If you're an American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
When I was dancing in Australia, I did a jump and landed on the outside of my right foot. I sprained it real bad. And they drove me to a private hospital and I was like panicking. But anyway, that's the one that was available to me at the time. And on my way into the lobby, I was, hobbling on my crutches. And they spotted me from the parking lot. The doctor came out to me before I even was in the building and went back into the hospital and told him that I was coming. In the waiting room, they came into the waiting room to examine my foot, and I never paid a penny for that shit.
So I can.
Are you serious? That sounds straight out of a movie. No, like, guys, never would you see a doctor here in America come out to me in the parking lot, see you coming, like, come on in. Like, they're always in their office.
And that's sort of the first time I heard that. He came to where? To what? Examine you in the room before you even get to him back there? That's crazy.
And it was private. Private is expensive, guys.
Yeah, let's continue.
200 of these, but I'll just talk about the first time I realized how fucked up the US is, which was in the first week that I got to Sweden, when my boyfriend's family told me that I need to make sure I get insured, and that I get insurance for everything I own, my laptop, my bike, my apartment, my whole body. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's so expensive. Like, I'm already super in debt with student loans, so no. But I asked out of curiosity, just like how much it was going to cost. $100 a year to insure everything I have. For reference, like the average American person spends $456 a month just on health insurance.
Not to mention cars.
Just for healthcare. That doesn't include cars or home insurance. So.
Okay, so
that is insane. Insurance for everything you own for $100 a year?
See, when I heard this, I said, girl, child.
Wow.
I was shocked. I was like, 100, you got to pay for health. You got to pay for car. You got to pay homeowners insurance. You're paying insurance for the phone that you're on.
Yes.
Cell phone. You're paying
It's crazy.
Appliance insurance is different from overall home insurance.
Yes.
You have to pay for everything separately. Even if you have a expensive, say, a drum set that you have to insure that separate. Yeah, and you're telling me your body plus everything you own.
Your body too. That's
for $100
a year.
And we are talking about monthly payment.
Yeah, monthly.
Ridiculous.
That is.
I'm spitting over here. Had oatmeal.
Ridiculous.
I still can't believe this one.
Yeah, me too. That sounds so unheard. Well, because we're in America, but that just sounds so.
Since even if I was in Jamaica, I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah, I never heard anything like that.
In Africa, you never heard anything like that.
$100 a year for everything insured.
That's ridiculous.
And yourself. That's the crazy part. You're including yourself and some things you own. That's
crazy.
That is.
This one caught us off guard.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I heard it the first time and I was like, and then she said it again, and I'm like, I said, hold your horses, because this is Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not currently living abroad, but I did live in Australia for a few months.
Yeah.
And one night while I was there, I got a little bit too crazy and I ended up on public transportation without a phone. And I had to find my way back to my apartment and I got lost. And while I got off the tram to get onto a different tram to take me home, a middle-aged gentleman came up to me and I immediately went into attack mode and I was like going to kill him. And he was like, no, I was just going to tell you which tram to take to get back to Preston. And that was when I realized that in Australia, I didn't need to be afraid. Like, granted, take precautions, but I didn't need to be afraid of every man. But in America, I still am.
Pretty straightforward. I mean, I can't really say too much. Like,
She clocked that.
yeah, I was like, you're drunk on a public transportation. I'm scared, girl.
Listen, so that's why when she started out, I'm like,
This is
let's see where this is going.
Yeah.
This sounds like it's going left.
Yeah.
But then the end result was like,
It's so scary though. Just the thought of it being drunk in a country you don't know where you're going. It's so scary to me.
the whole thing is scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
Don't get me wrong. I know there are people here in America, out there in the world that are cuckoo. We're not
Yes.
idiots. We get that.
Mm-hmm.
But it just has to have that, when you think about it, I have that peace of mind, like, oh, there's still good persons out here.
Yeah. It's
Middle age.
Middle age when you're a man. I'm sorry.
And she's so beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. You see all these.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this one. So at the time, I was living in Germany and I had gotten food poisoning after traveling back from the country. And I was so sick. I was not eating, like not taking anything. And it had been like 4 or 5 days. It was really bad. I was too afraid to go to the hospital, one, because I was afraid I couldn't translate, but two, like I just didn't want to deal with everything. But my friend said, no, we have to go. So I went. Tell me why we didn't have to wait on an emergency line. I was in the emergency room looking around. I was like, where do I sign in? Like, where's the line? Where are all the people? And they're like, no, you can go right in and go sit down. We'll be right with you. And I literally walked straight into the office, like straight in. And while I was struggling to explain what was going on, they brought in 5 different doctors of each different one. And it only took them 5 minutes to come each time when they realized they couldn't help me. It was somebody else they needed. And I didn't have to pay anything on top of that.
That's unheard of. 5 different doctors come to see you and see if they can handle the issue. That's different.
And nobody lolling around for another hour and trying to figure out and poke you and do all this thing. They say, okay, we don't know what's going on. Let's go next up. Look how quick the transition was between doctors.
Yeah.
Here in the US? No. This one going to try to poke until he finds out. And if he don't figure it out, you got to come back. Or you're going to be in there for hours in that
hours. Yeah.
And they're going to give you some medicine. They have to give you some medicine to hold you over for a minute. And they don't know what's going on with you. I never can ever seem to wrap my mind around that part. You notice that? They always give you medicine. You always get medicine, even if they don't know what's going on. Okay, let's just give you some morphine. Okay, let's give you some Tylenol. Let's just give you some Motrin to cool the pain down. And you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, she don't pay jack.
Yes, and she even had to sign in. Like, that's weird. You have to sign in America. Like, it's your ID, who you are, and what you're here in for. That's different.
You have to do paperwork before you're being seen. So you do the paperwork and you go sit back down for another 4 or 5 hours.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I'm an American living abroad in Thailand. We've been living here for a year now. So we literally moved here when the pandemic started. My husband had a business trip right before the country closed to Singapore. He came back from Singapore with a fever. So they transported him to a hospital. That hospital, however, didn't have the facilities for full-on quarantine, and so they transported him using an ambulance to another hospital where he was COVID tested and quarantined. Luckily, he tested negative, but he still spent 2 days in the hospital and was transported by ambulance. And so I was thinking the cost was going to be so expensive. The overall cost of it was less than $300, where back in the States, I know it would have been thousands. It's just incredible to me that healthcare is affordable.
So I remember
That's
Thailand.
crazy. Yeah, Thailand.
I'm not downgrading a country. I'm just saying Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
$300. The overall cost. She stayed in the hospital, transportation, back and forth with these ambulance. Less than $300.
Sorry. Yeah,
See,
less than $300.
my word is true. You're sneezing over here.
You're scaring me. I don't want to be sick. Yeah. See, because I would think it would be in the thousands too, because all that transportation went to this hospital and you're here, you think it'd be in the thousands.
Yeah, because the ambulance ride here is no joke.
I didn't know that until you told me. I was so shocked. I'm like, it's that expensive for an ambulance?
See, I didn't even know that, and I saw it on here.
Wow. Yeah, because you're not in an ambulance either, too. Yeah. It's heavy.
Yeah, if
You always stroll to the house when you're pregnant.
anything click, we drive.
Yeah, even when you're pregnant. You
Yeah.
drive when you're in labor.
Even when I'm popping out, I drive. And if the kids, emergency, if they fall, if they're in my vehicle, we're out. So I wouldn't know until if I wasn't on here doing reaction, I wouldn't even know because I don't look at videos like that.
Yeah, neither would I. I
It's
never know.
crazy. When you see this, it really makes you think.
Yes, it does.
Why? Look how many countries we have seen so far from all these videos that we have done. They have universal healthcare, or their cost. Yeah.
And I moved to Singapore. And before coming here, I asked my friends if I should bring anything like, pepper spray just in case anything happens. And they were like, no, that's like actually illegal. I don't think that they're allowed to have any kind of weapon. And I was like, what? We literally put them in our keychains as accessories. I was like, how do you defend yourself? They were like, from what? You don't have to. It's so safe. I was like, no way. So I Googled it, and no one is allowed to use greater force than necessary to defend themselves. What? The U.S. can't ban guns, but Singapore can ban pepper sprays?
Let's talk about that real quick. I've heard of Singapore, but when you hear it's all the good stuff, how clean it is, how advanced it is, you never hear someone got murdered there or something.
Never.
You don't. You hear just how good the country is. And listen, ain't that illegal to bring pepper spray like a knife through the TSA? That's illegal, right?
Yeah.
So you can't. So you have to buy some, but. Yeah,
But you can walk around with it and the police won't arrest you for
And
that,
it's
and you
so
won't get charged for it.
crazy. Yesterday, I was at the doctor's for Javon, just getting an appointment, and I went up and there was a sign: you cannot carry your gun. I guess someone tried to carry the gun in the hospital, and they had to put a sign up saying you can't, because it's open carry here in Alaska. You can have a gun on you, and it can. When I see it, I get scared. I don't know why I do. It just
You do?
I feel weird because like you have a gun. I don't know if you're mentally up here good, because who knows?
I don't get scared. I guess because I'm used to it. I'm used to it because when I live in Kentucky, it was the same thing. Open carry. I'll be like, you walking around, what is that? This is a gun country. There's nothing you can do to go. And then in my house, there were guns at the time.
In Kentucky?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got rid of them because Sean.
Oh.
I was like, no, we need to get rid of these.
Good.
But he was like, we can't get rid of them yet. When I'm deployed and you're by yourself with the, I don't want you to be unprotected, being home by yourself with the baby. So that I was okay, but I was still scared because I know a gun can't hurt you unless you point it at yourself or pull the trigger. Because that's he always say, how is it gonna hurt you? What is it doing to you, girl? Every time every time I look at it, I'm like, I ain't touching that. And the safety's on, and I'm still panicking. And Sean was so young; it's not like he could pick it up or use it. But I was like, "What if he finds it? What if he finds it? What if?" So that was one of my triggers. And then he teach me about it. He's like, "Xavier, why are you panicking? What is your problem?" And I explained. I'm like, "Well, he's military, so it's like nothing to you." And then I'm like, and then I see everybody, and then I'm on the base so regular, and I'm like, "What am I afraid of?" But then, like you said, the mindset of people, you don't know what triggers them. And then where I was, that's a racist town, Kentucky. They don't play. So that's why I was kind of panicky. But then over time, I got used to it. Then I'm like, okay, but we still gotta get. When babies start popping, I'm like, nah, you gotta go. They gotta go. Yeah. And he was okay with that. But I'm just saying, it's crazy that. No, some places still allow it, but you saw the
Yeah, I saw it. It was a sign. I was so shocked to see it there. And on the news, I saw recently a guy went to the gym and had like a full-on gun, like those long ones, and he wanted to go in the gym, but it jams. So thank God no one got hurt. But just the thought of
Here?
yeah, no, not Alaska.
Oh,
yeah,
'cause
no, not here in Alaska.
Woo!
You don't hear that in Alaska.
Yes, that's
You
the thing.
really don't.
I keep telling people, Alaska, it doesn't seem like it's a part of the U.S.
No,
When you hear some news,
Florida or
we shouldn't be laughing about this, but
was Florida? I don't know which state.
it's like everything crazy come out of Clark.
Yeah, anything crazy comes out
Some
of Florida.
weird news come on,
Weird.
and certain other states you'll be hearing about it. You'll be like,
Huh?
huh?
Uh-huh.
Is this U.S.?
Yeah.
Because where we at, you don't have that.
No, we don't.
We don't want to.
Yeah.
It's not. Yep. But we seem like we're a different kettle of fish from the lower 48. It just
Yeah.
seemed that way.
Mm-hmm.
Even Hawaii is not so bad when you look at it,
Yeah,
because we're all the way out here.
All the way. Yeah, you're right.
Jeez. But yeah, guys, we're la-la-ing.
So I didn't realize this until I moved abroad, but Americans have a very strange concept of freedom. Like when you're growing up, you're always told that America is such an amazing place and, you know, it's the land of the free, home of the brave. But like I keep hearing these criticisms from people like, oh yeah, but America has the most freedom. Wow, yeah, freedom. I mean, there may be a few exceptions or nuances, but in the UK, you're still free. Like that is the biggest lie that Americans are ever told, that there aren't other free places. Like I don't understand. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I feel like the concept is kind of destroying American democracy. How ironic. Like they need to kind of understand that they need to work on things to make themselves better and more free for their citizens.
So just
That's
That's
a
a good
powerful one.
Yes.
Because it's so true. And it's been
Yep.
instilled in from a baby stage, from
Mhm.
your enter. It's like that's something that is sold to you. That it's like they seal it in your brain from
Yeah.
early on.
Mhm.
The greatest place on earth and the freest place, and
Yes.
everything outside of the US is bad.
Yes.
You ever notice that?
Yes. I thought that even the people in power say that this is the greatest place to live in. You know, like all these great things about America.
It's the same thing when they walk into the school
Yeah.
system. It's like they're indoctrinated.
Yep.
Jeez.
just for a little context, I live in Latvia now, but when this happened to me, I was working in the UK as a bartender. And my coworkers and I were talking about gun violence in the US, and they were kind of making jokes like, oh, I'm surprised you graduated and you didn't get shot first and stuff like that. And I guess I was trying to defend it. So I was saying, it's not as bad as the news makes it seem. I only know one school that had an active shooter and had to go into lockdown. And, for me, I only had one gun threat in high school, and it was just a threat, and one when I was in elementary school.
Threats, I know the threats.
And then my coworkers kind of looked at me like,
Girl.
you what? And you think that's normal? And I was like, yeah, it's not even that bad.
So I was in
Yo, messed up that is.
She was trying to defend her country. I'll give her grace. She was trying to, but it's like, this is ugly. This is not going good.
Normalized.
Yeah.
It's
She's
like that
one this,
immune.
one that, one that. It's not that bad. It should be 0.
Immune.
Yeah.
Immune. Americans are they're immune to this madness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that bad, but I keep saying this. I don't know if you heard me say it before. They're immune until it reaches to their doorstep.
Until it's their child.
Until it happening to them, and then they want a change.
Yeah.
But if it don't happen to anybody close to them, they're good. Nobody care.
Yeah.
And they want to change for the first 3 months, and then they go back to
I don't
normal.
think America will ever get rid of the I think it's called the Second Amendment, the right to carry. I think it's that. I could be wrong. Or am I getting that with I know the messages right now, it's not coming to mind. But I feel like they will never get rid of it. I strongly believe that.
The right to bear arms, no.
The right to, they will never ever get rid of that, because America is a gun culture. They need their guns.
For what reason? I don't know. So you ever notice?
I don't know.
You're going to a whole
I'm going
soul.
hunting. I'm going this.
Sin, you ever go into a whole soul That's why my kids, I tell my kids, you ain't sleeping nowhere. You staying in your yard. You're not going, no. But I don't care if they get mad. That's their problem, not mine. I'm doing what I think is best. Because, guys, you'll walk into some people's home and they have more gun than they have vegetable on the table or food in their fridge. There's no going around that. And I'm like, guns and ammunition. What are you doing? And you don't even have food in your house. That's how much. And I mean, I don't mean 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean going up. For what reason? Like they're going to World War III and they're locking down for something.
I get it for like protection because people are crazy these days. I get that. But like just I don't know, because I always thought about like, would I have it in my house or just protect just in case? I don't know. I don't know, Xavier.
See, I can see it that way. Say I'm out on my own and but I need to learn how to use it.
Yeah, and have it locked.
There's a difference. And so, guys, I might be wrong with this, but I always say, what's the point of having a gun and it's locked away? When anybody come in, can I reach the gun?
You gotta hurry by the key, try to open it up, and then by the door ready. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Take me. Oh Lord, I can see you because I feel like you dropped the key like I would too because you're so scared. They're drilling their emotions.
Oh God. See, I know you guys might beat me for this one, but I swear to you, that's the thought that always crossed my mind. I'm like, I'm dead now. I'm dead.
I wanted to have a fingerprint. That'd be quick.
Cynthia, but it's always, you gotta run to where it is. 1, 2, you gotta unlock where it is. 2, 3, you gotta take it out of the closet, run from it.
To get out the safety thing, so it's like, oh, it's jammed.
You put it through, and the safety is off. And you know you can hear when the safety comes off.
Because it clicks?
Yeah, it'll click. But if you're not used to a gun, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah,
if you're dumb into a gun, you won't know.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is that I thought about it so many times. I'm like, I'm dead meat. And see, I say it to you, and it click in your head.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, it does
I'm
make
like,
sense.
what's the point? But then I see the point of it being locked up. You see what I'm saying? Because kids, curiosity kill the cat, man.
There has to be a better way than keys. Like maybe like a fingerprint, like faster, or is it all keys? I think there has to be like a fingerprint.
No, I'm just saying, people have that.
It has to be locked up.
But understand,
yeah,
people have that.
Yeah, and they're safe.
And they talk safe away. You don't. A lot of people don't leave safe in plain sight.
No, it's not.
So you gotta run for it.
Yeah.
You have time to do all of that.
Girl, have a knife next to you.
In Grenada for a couple of weeks, and every single day between 12 and 2 they would always close down. Everything would just close down, and I was just like, what is going on? And they were like, well, we need to go home and have lunch with our family, you know, just enjoy, just relax a little bit. And that was when I realized every other country out here really understands the value of spending time with your loved ones and just actually taking a break, except America. America just teaches us to work for labor instead of actually living. So don't procrastinate on your happiness, sis. Your worth is not in labor. It's a luxury. Do what you want to do and be happy.
You didn't see that period coming.
I didn't. I was like, okay. And she did it so demure. Period.
Listen! She's so pretty.
Oh, so
She
pretty.
reminded me of the other second chick that talk about her in Australia and when she was drunk. Her eyes, she just oozing beauty.
Beauty.
You, listen, yeah. So I'm like, ooh, but we're digressing, but we can't help ourselves. 2 hours a day, you shut down everything. Grenada.
Yeah.
The value of work-life balance. The value of life is more important than stressing out yourself to labor. That to me is so amazing. If Grenada can do it, it ain't happening here. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And guys, the hours, those are here in the US from 12 to 2, those are peak lunchtime hours.
Yes.
That's when they make them some money from workers. And if I was working in Grenada and it was like, hey, it's 12, go home, my grind coming back. Because I can come comfortable at home. The idea of going back, I might because she'll work.
Yeah, but she's
the
like,
idea.
the way she's like, it keep happening. I'm like, they're shutting down everything. Workplace.
Yeah.
Everybody's shutting down. It's like the
Yeah.
whole country shutting down for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So you can go, that's to me is
That's
unheard of.
Yeah, unheard of.
Jeez.
Oh, I've got a couple. So I'm from Los Angeles and now I live in Austria. And basically when I first started working here, they were like, you get 25 days vacation, Fridays off early. And if you're sick, don't come into work. And I was just like, I was floored. Because in the US, you only get 10 days vacation and like 5 sick days and you don't get Fridays off early. You better work your ass until it's 9 p.m. On top of all that, all my friends here have like 2 masters, 3 PhDs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because education here is actually free.
Wow.
Amazing. What an amazing concept. In addition, I have yet to see a large homeless community out in the open here in Austria because the government actually offers some social support. A lot of social support. In LA, you have villages, streets, blocks full of homeless people because our government doesn't care about us. And here, people like don't measure their worth off the car they drive.
Okay, so
What she said, girl, you hit some points, some really big points. Homelessness, that's a big one here in the States, even here in Alaska. It's not as bad compared to other states because I heard that Portland is really bad.
Listen.
And so is Los Angeles.
Yes.
You went to
New York is too.
Yeah. And it's really, really bad. And also about
Chicago too.
Time. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely Chicago. And they'll have little mental issues. It's scary. I walk the other side when I see them. I kid you not. No, because when I worked at a mental health facility, and most of our patients were homeless. So whenever you see homeless, I told Giovanni, go on the other side. You don't know what's going on in their mind, and they're off their meds. So anything triggers them. Anyways, yeah, just point out. But like, yeah, with the 10 days paid time off and the sick leave, it's not that much compared to what you guys offer. It's amazing what you guys offer.
And if you use up them sick days, you go into your leave time.
Yes, so
it doesn't balance out. You don't. You can't tell me you can't tell me when I'm going to be sick and I only get 5 out of 365 days of the year.
One thing you get sick. Like, oh girl, what you talking about?
So you need to make sure that try space it out of the 12 months, only 5 times you need to get sick.
That's crazy when you think about it. Crazy.
And 10 days out of 365, because some people work 7 days a week.
Oh yeah, 6 days a week, 2 jobs too.
Exactly, 2 jobs, 3 jobs.
Yes.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't know either.
But it works for them. Well, it don't work for them because they're dying. They burn out.
Yes. And
they
you can
burn
do that
out
for like maybe 2 years max. It's too much on the body.
But you still burn out. Even if you do it for 2 years max, you burn out.
You are burning.
And you don't have no time for family.
Nope.
No time for yourself.
Nothing,
It's like just work to pay bills and just to
survive.
To survive. To get to the next paycheck.
Yep.
Which is crazy. And she's so right. The homeless community, oh baby, that's yeah.
And another thing she said that people over there don't really care about how the car they drive. Because here it's more about looks. I need a Range Rover. I need this. I need that.
You have to keep up with the Joneses.
Exactly.
You have to keep up with the no. People have to keep, not me.
Yeah.
I don't care. But if next door neighbor have a pipe, the other next door neighbor, okay, I gotta get a bigger pipe.
Yeah.
And if their pipe is blue,
what kind of pipe?
I live in New York now, but I used to live in England. And one time I was out at this bar with my friends, and these 2 cops walked by. And one of my friends was like, oh, I wonder why there are cops out right now. And I looked at the cops, and I got really confused. And I was like, those are cops? And my friends were like,
because I'm like, what kind of room are you talking about?
Your mind is
I'm gonna restart this one, guys, so we can get
Here, people like don't measure their worth off the car they drive.
okay, so I live in New York now, but I used to live in England. And one time I was out at this bar with my friends, and these 2 cops walked by. And one of my friends was like, oh, I wonder why there are cops out right now. And I looked at the cops, and I got really confused. And I was like, those are cops? And my friends were like, yeah. And I was like, they don't have guns. Yeah. And everyone was like, why would they have guns? They were like so aghast at that question. And I was realized in that moment and learned that guns, there are so few guns in the UK, and it's such not an issue that like the everyday cop does not carry a gun. And I was just, there are houses in America that have seen more guns in them than a fresh vegetable. It blew my fucking mind. I think about it all the time. I hate guns so much. I hate guns so much.
I was
Not a fresh vegetable. And people hardly eat fresh vegetable here, so you can see the comparison when he said it.
Yeah.
But it's true. The first time I realized, you okay?
Yeah.
The first time I realized that cops in the UK don't carry gun. Well, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I was
wow.
shocked. Yeah.
Somebody said to me in the comment section, if they land that button on you, your skin burn. You'll burn your skin burn. You'll be nursing them wounds more than that scene with a gun. Because nobody gonna mess with them. Them button hits is no. But I'm like, jeez, your ways. Not in America.
living in Italy, and my friend needed an ambulance. We weren't going to get an ambulance because of the cost. And then we learned that in Italy, it's free for ambulances. We were literally like, wow, it doesn't have to be thousands of dollars for an ambulance. That is crazy. A human life is, in fact, more valuable than profit here. It is so sad that we have accepted if you are in a vulnerable health situation, it will cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and many people go into medical debt because of this. Where are our priorities?
Where are our priorities?
Girl to the billionaires. The billionaires are America's priorities.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. America is for the rich, man.
Yeah, for the rich.
The middle class is trying to hold up. And the poor down here is squabbling.
Yeah.
We're squabbling.
Literally.
It's crazy.
It is.
And sad at the same time.
Yeah.
And I like watching these videos because when I did it, I was like, it's like a veil unlifted up. A veil just came off my eyes.
What they call like rose-colored lenses are taken off. You see it clear, like, oh snap.
And it sounds so much like a fairy tale, like unbelievable. When they say stuff, you're like, there are countries that does this?
Yeah.
There are places that really take care of their citizens like that? Or their thing, and they didn't just start it yesterday. They've been doing it from the get-go.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that the US can't get a framework or a bone structure or take it from, I keep saying this.
All these years.
All these countries, you can take a piece of theirs, a piece of theirs, a piece of theirs, and fit it together and see if it works and tweak what needs to be tweaked for the benefit of their citizens. You're telling me the US cannot do that all these years, but yet it's the number one and the greatest country on this earth? Tell me, how does that work?
It doesn't work.
From healthcare to education, you see how much budget they cut when it comes to education?
Yeah, every single year we go through that butt cutting cut every single year.
Kids are struggling in school.
And
everything is like a cookie cutter. It's either their way in the school system or no way, and they fit all these kids in one box, even though I don't learn the same way you. And if I have a strong point, I have to struggle with you who's struggling down there before you give me something to help me, to keep me, not what you call it, bored, or because the kids who are bored tend to, they say, are troubled kids, but they are more advanced.
It's just
so they're bored.
Yeah.
So they get themselves, and I can go on and on and on with this because this kind of reeks. So it makes me get upset every time I think about it. I'm like, sometimes I wonder how I end up in the US, but I know how I end up. I know, I'm just saying. The way you used to hear about the US when you were in another country. Yeah. If you see, you understand what I'm saying? I'm like, even though I didn't want to travel, but that's another story in itself.
Growing up too, like when you
hear it,
it's so good.
That's like where you want to be. That's where every other generation here. That's the place to go. That's the place to be. A land of opportunity.
Yes.
You understand?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. They do have some opportunities.
No. The land where dreams are
made of.
You understand me? That's a big one.
In the US is New York. That's a crazy one too.
Oh,
that's another one.
Everywhere's New York. You're right.
You're right. Because everyone else are like, so where's New York? Is this New York? Because the lights, it's just
in New
York.
Listen,
New York's that girl.
concrete jungles where dreams
Dreams
are made of. Listen, I tell you, and it's still being taught to kids
To
this day.
Yep.
And they haven't
Do you
changed their
have
tune.
people in Jamaica from back home that's like, I want to go to the US.
Still.
Here, even me too. Even
Still,
in Africa,
to
they
this
still
day.
want to go to the US.
And a friend of mine said, no, tell him to come to Canada. Tell him to go to England. Tell him to go this. Tell him to do this. And I'm like, people, there's so many countries out there. I tell you, since I started doing reaction videos, if I wasn't doing it, I wasn't going to go there and search and look at this stuff.
No. Same here.
But I'm like, geez, you whiz. Free education, free health care.
Yeah.
You don't have to look over your shoulder. Don't
Work-life
worry.
balance.
Listen, I can go right there and say, okay, where do I sit in this theater? Do I sit to find where the exit is? Because maybe somebody will come up in here and I have to find the exit. I'm unstable, sitting down watching a movie with my kids, and all this thoughts is in my mind. How do I grab all my kids to get out of this thing? What's our quickest exit? In the mall.
I just saw my dimple, sorry.
Oh, Lord. In the mall, the same thing. I'm walking, I'm eyeing everybody to know looking at my kids or trying to snap. Yeah. You see that cop come and your heart go.
Tell me about it.
Even if you know you're not doing anything wrong, you know, your heart go tiff taff taff taff. It's ridiculous.
I can tell you're passionate because that pasta was kicking and I like it. Top, top, top.
She always has me cracking up when I'm serious.
Yeah, no, because you are.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
You worry about everything you can think of.
Yeah.
Do I have enough money to do this? Will I have enough money to do that? Can I do this? Can I not work? Can I this? Can I that? And if I take a break, what will happen? If I bat my eye for a second, what next? She's a youngin'. She's gonna get it though. She's getting it.
Yeah,
she's getting it. She's getting it.
With some of mom, maybe I'll get it.
Yeah,
but most of the stuff, oh yeah,
yeah. But she's seeing it that there's options out there, and there's places to go and be and live life to the fullest, and be comfortable and less stress and all of that.
Yes,
I'm moving.
I'm using my passport this year. That's for sure.
I know I'm going to move. I'm not asking you that. I know it may not be today or tomorrow,
but it'll be down the line.
But it's coming. It's coming. I feel it in my bones. That's how much I feel it.
Okay.
I love you guys to the max. And
we love every single time I got correct you on that. We Z and Sin love you guys.
We do. Thanks for always rocking with us.
Yes.
Guys, it's 10:33 a.m. and I have an eye appointment.
At what time? 10:30. She go whoop. Right there real fast.
But I'm out of here.
Yes.
We will definitely see. It's summer. The kids are out.
Yeah.
No school for the next 3 months. That's crazy. But you see how quiet my house is? They're still sleeping. They're staying up late.
Kids are being naughty, staying up watching TV all day.
But they're happy.
Yes.
So yeah. That's it from us, guys.
Bye.
Don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe. You want to shake it like it's hot. Shake it like it's hot. Remember, when you hit the like, it tells YouTube that you like what you're seeing out here.
Yes.
Oh, peace out.
Bye. Sorry.